This conference will now be recorded.
Hi guys, can you hear me? Yeah, so guys, really go for the JDBC classes. So if you go for the JDBC classes, I think last class we installed database, right? In the system, database installation is done, and we done some queries, right? Yeah. So today write the code. To write the code, the Java application is connecting with what database? JDBC. The JDBC full form, tell me. Java database, Java database connection, right? Connectivity or connection, it's fine. Right. JDBC means what? Java database connectivity, right? Yeah. Like Java database connectivities, like JDBC classes, we will see. You still write the first JDBC application. So Java database connection means what in your system? Java should be ready. I think Java is already installed in your system. Java should be ready. In the last class, we done the database like installation and some queries, right? Database is ready. So Java is ready and database is ready. Today, we'll write the code. Java application is how it is connecting with the database. It is connecting with what database, right? Exactly. Because to do this, JDBC means what? Basically, we are writing the queries at Java side. JDBC means we are writing the queries at what Java side. When you write the queries at Java side, I'm writing something like string query one equal to create a table name, something like this, right? We are writing the queries at Java side. These queries we are sent to the database side. Then database engine will take that query, execute the query, give the result back to the Java application. So we are writing the query set what Java side using what Java syntaxes, right? String q1 equal to what create table name, something like this. This is like what queries, no? Like we are writing the query within Java syntax. So we are writing the queries at Java side using Java API rules and regulations. Somewhere. So we are writing the queries at what? Java side using Java API rules and regulations. And who will execute this queries? Database. In the database, who will execute the queries? Tell me. Basically, we know that core Java applications executed by core Java applications are executed by JVM, right? Exactly. Servlets are executed by servlets are what executed by servlet container, right? Servlet container. JSPs are executed by JSP engine is there, like this. Core Java applications are executed by JVM. Core Java applications are executed by JVM. Servlets are executed by servlet container, and JSPs are executed by JSP engine. Like that, who will execute these queries? Tell me. Database engine, exactly. Because these queries are executed by the database. The database queries. The database queries are executed by DB database engine. This database what engine, right? Exactly. So JDBC means what Java application is connecting the database to perform some operations, right? JDBC and API providing class and interfaces to work with what database, right? Exactly. JDBC is an API. JDBC is an API providing what? Providing the classes and what interfaces to work with to work with what? To work with the database, right? To work with the database. JDBC is providing something like class and interfaces to work with what database. Okay, so in JDBC we are writing the queries at what Java side using Java syntaxes. Nothing but Java API rules, right? Java API rules and regulations. Who will execute these queries? The queries are executed by database engine, DB, right? Database engine. DB don't know what is a string, what is a double quote, these all. DB required only plain query. DB required what? Only plain query. DB required what type of query? Tell me. SQL API, right? Yes, DB required what? SQL API. So we got the point that we are writing the queries at Java side using Java API syntaxes, but the queries are executed by database engine, which required SQL API queries, only plain query. Then definitely we required one translator. So no, because here we are writing the query using Java syntaxes. Something like I know English, you know Telugu. The communication is not happened properly. Definitely required a translator, right? In the same way, we are writing the queries at Java side using Java syntaxes. But who will execute these queries? Database, which required SQL API syntaxes. That's what in the middle we require one translator who translate your Java API syntax queries into what SQL API, right? That a translator is called driver basically. That's what first of all we need to understand what is a driver. What is the driver, right? Exactly. Tell me in JDBC, we are writing the tell me we are writing the query set. Okay, so in JDBC we are writing the query set what? Yeah, in JDBC, we are writing the queries at Java side using which syntaxes? Tell me, Java syntaxes. Okay, Java syntax, right? But these queries are executed by, but these queries are executed by database engine, right? Database engine, database what engine? It requires what? It requires SQL API queries, right? SQL API syntax. This point is important. In JDBC, we are writing the queries at Java side. Java side using which syntaxes? Java syntaxes. But who will execute these queries? Database. Database requires which query syntaxes? SQL syntaxes. In the middle, we require one translator who translate your Java API syntax into what? Database. Who is a translator here? Driver. That is the first step. Before communication between the Java application to what database. So no, because you know Hindi, I know English means communication not happen properly. First of all, what required? Tell me, translator required. First step, what required? Translator required, right? That's what the driver actually. Driver will come into the picture. So driver is clear. Tell me what's the driver? This is my Java. This is my Java application. This is my database application. Java application on what? This is my database. This is my database. This is my database. We are writing the this is my Java file. What file am I? This is like Java file. This is like yeah. This is like Java file. This is the Java file means we are writing the queries here. So we are writing the queries like string. Tell me a string query one equal to create a table. um, Create a table name is what? Emp. Employee ID is what type of data? Number type. Like that we are creating the table like this. You get the point, right? Employee ID, number type, like this is the query. We are writing this query using which syntaxes? Tell me. Java syntaxes. This is like Java API syntaxes. This is like we are in the queries using Java API syntaxes. But this is my database. Database required what? Only query required. Because database required what? Only query, right? This is like database. Database required only query. What the query required? Tell me. Create a table. Table name is emp. ID is like number. Only we require this one. We don't want double quotes. We don't want double quotes and we don't want semicolon. This is all right. We don't want this string message like this. And it required the query like what syntaxes it required, Amma? It required the syntaxes like SQL API. Okay, the syntaxes are what, Amma? SQL API. So we are writing the queries at Java side using Java syntaxes But who will execute this query is a database engine required the SQL API syntaxes. That's what in the middle we require one translator. The translator is called what, driver. So driver is a translator. Okay, this is a driver. Yeah, it will convert what? Hmm. This is called what, driver, right? Driver. Driver. Yeah, this is my driver. So this is called driver. Yes. So driver is a translate. You got the driver clarity, right? Driver is important for us. Driver is a translator who translate your Java API syntaxes into what, SQL API syntaxes. That's what it will execute the query by default. That's what before the database communication. First we need to load. First step is what, driver. Because translator required. That's what first step. We need to load the. Tell me, we need to load what? Driver, right? Exactly. Because we need to load the driver. Yeah, that's like first step you can write. Steps to design the application. Steps to design the. Tell me, steps to what? Design the first application. Tell me guys, what are the steps? First step is what? Translator required, no? That's what step one is what? Load the driver. Exactly. What is a driver? Driver is a translator who translates Java syntaxes into what? SQL API syntax. First to load the driver. After loading the driver, tell me second step is what? Create the connection. Once the translator is ready, make the communication, right? Create the connection between Java to database. Connection is ready. Once the connection is ready, what is step number three? What is step three? Driver is loaded, translator is loaded, and translator is loaded. Connection is happened. Then we need to process the query. What is step number three, Amma? Process the query. We need to execute the query, right? Process the query in the sense what? Write and execute the query. Write the query and what? Execute the query. That comes under processing. Got the point, right? Process the query in the sense what? Process the query means write and what? Execute the query, right? Exactly. Okay, step number four. Release the connections. Release what? Release the connection, right? That's just four steps. That's it. Instead of saying the connection, release the resources. What we open, just you can close it. Release what, resources. You got the point, right? What the JDBC says, JDBC is an API providing what, classes and interfaces to connect with what? To work with the database. Core Java who execute the core Java applications, JVM. Servlets are executed by servlet container. JSPs are executed by JSP engine. Database queries are executed by DB, right? Database engine. Exactly. Because after that you can take the driver. What is the driver? Definitely we require the translator. Translator who translate your Java syntaxes into what? Database format. In JDBC we are writing the queries in the yeah. In JDBC we are writing the queries at Java side using Java syntax. But these queries are executed by database engine. It required SQL API syntax. Here we need one translator. Here we need a translator. Tell me, here we need what? Translator to translate what? To okay. Translate Java API. Tell me here Java API syntax queries into queries into what? Here we need here we need translator to translate Java API syntax queries into the SQL API syntax. SQL API syntax. It is a here we need one translator, right? Who translate your Java API syntax queries into tell me, Yeah, this is into SKP syntax. This is a driver, right? This is a driver. It's called driver. Here we need one translator who translate API, Java API, Java API syntax, SQL API syntax. Uh, it is a driver, right? It is what I'm a driver. That's it. Tell me guys, what is the driver? One more time, tell me. Driver is a translator. No. Yeah. Driver. What is a driver? Driver is a translator. So driver is a translator to translate what am Java API syntax queries into SQL API syntax, right? Exactly. Okay, that is called driver. It is a translator simply. It is a translator to translate the Java API syntax queries into what SQL API, right? That point I understand. Clear? Yes. Online students, clear? Who is this ABC? Yeah, so that is called driver, right? So JDBC and API. Good. What are the steps we need to follow? How many steps total here? Four steps. What are the four steps? Load the driver, process the query, and what the release resource. Today we'll go for the first step only mostly. Tell me. Right? Yeah. So load the driver. First step is what? Load the driver. You got a driver. What is a driver, right? Driver is a translator. Okay. First step is what? Load the driver. First step is what? Load the driver. What is a class is going faster is going okay. Priyanka, Pravalika. You want to reduce the flow or okay? Priyanka, tell me what is the driver? Priyanka is there. Priyanka is there. Yeah, Priyanka, tell me what is the driver? What is the driver? Pravalika. Speak Pravalika. You can unmute and you can speak. No problem. No speaking. Only listening. Hmm? No speaking. Only listening. Priyanka, translator, sir. Oh, single word. Out of the state. We are discussing paragraph, Priyanka. You are saying single line translator. Priyanka is very good. Pravalika is sleeping. Hmm? Yeah, so that you got the points, right? Steps are clear. How many steps total here? Four steps. Load the driver. First step is what? To load the driver. So this driver is a translator. Just to be written, it is a translator to translate the Java API syntax queries into the SQL API syntax. So what is this driver? Load the driver. Basically, driver is a normal Java class only. Driver means what? It's a translator I'm saying, right? It's a Java class only. Driver is a Java class. So who given this class? Given by Java or database. Driver is a Java class now. Given by who? Tell me who given this driver? Database or Java now? That's basically database only. Why the database means because it has to translate the Java syntax in database syntax, right? Database syntax means what? The driver is given by database only. Driver is a Java class given by database vendors. Given by what? Database vendor. Get the point, right? Driver is a Java class given by database vendor. They given the class driver is a Java class given by database vendor in the form of what? In the form of jar file. in the form of what? Jar file. Exactly. Driver is a Java class given by database vendor. Given by what? Database vendor in the form of what? Jar file. That is a point basically. You got the point, right? Exactly. Driver is a Java class given by database vendor in the form of what? Jar file, right? Sir, where is this jar file? We got the point or not? Driver is a Java class. Who given a driver class? Database vendor. In the form of what? Jar file. Exactly. In the form of jar file. So what is the driver class name means? Driver class name. Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot. The class name is called Oracle driver is a class. What is driver class name? Oracle driver is a class. What about Oracle dot JDBC dot driver is a package name? This is like which driver class name? Oracle driver class name. Oracle driver class name is what? Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. You got the point, right? This is the Oracle driver. This is called package name. Package name is this one. What is a class name simply? Class name is the only Oracle driver. Yeah, that's Oracle driver is the class name. So what is a driver? Driver is a translator. Who translates Java API syntax queries into SQL API? Who given this driver class? Database. The database given the driver class in the form of what? Jar file. Sir, what is the class name, sir? This is the driver class name. Oracle driver class name. What a class name? Tell me. Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. Oracle dot JDBC dot driver is a package name. Oracle driver is a class name. Sir, okay, sir. You are saying that driver is a translator. The translator is given by who given? Database people. They given in the form of what? Jar file. Sir, what is the jar file name? What is the jar file name? Just coming to the jar file names. It's a new system. If you install the Oracle 11G, Oracle 11G, you will get the jar file name is like OJDBC 5.jar you will get, and one more jar you will get OJDBC 6.jar you will get. We will go for the Oracle 11G. If you go for the Oracle 12C, you will get the jar file is OJDBC 7. OJDBC is what 7.jar. No, sir, in my system I have Oracle 18C. In Oracle 18C, people given this driver class name. The driver class name in the form of what? Jar file, right? They given in the form of the jar file. What is the Oracle version? Oracle 18C. 18C, they given the class name is like OJDBC 8.jar. No, sir, my old version is there. Oracle 10G. Oracle 10G, the jar file is OJDBC 14.jar. Oracle OJDBC 14.jar. Yeah, so 10G in your system we have the 10G. If you have the 10G means what the jar file OJDBC 14. If you have the 11G 5 and 6, 12C 7, 18C 8, OJDBC 8, 21C OJDBC 11 or 10. You got the point, right? Yes. So this driver class is present in this jar file. Guess where this driver class present? This driver class is present in what? This jar file, right? Exactly. Sir, okay, sir. What is jar file location? Guys, jar file location basically, if you go for the local disk C you installed, app is there, app Ratan product 18.0. Yes, we have 18.0, right? App Ratan product 18.0. There we can see DB home XC. There we can see JDBC. In the JDBC we can find lib folder. In the lib folder we can see this is like JDBC 8 jar. You got the point, right? What is a driver? Driver is a First example only important. Remaining all examples same flow. First example only create the load the driver, create the connection and close the connections and all. Remaining all files what same, right? That's what first application only very very important. What is a driver? Online people, please respond. Amma. What is a driver? Driver is a translator who translate Java API syntaxes into SQL API syntax. Who given this driver class? Who given the driver class? Database people. They gave the driver class in the form of what? Jar file. The jar file. Yes, here you can find the OJDBC 8 -G DMS. This all just you directly can take OJDBC 8 only. There is no extensions, nothing. You please take the OJDBC 8 directly. Okay, this is the location. This is what the location. Got the point, right? This is location of the jar. Hmm? If it is a 11G means some different location. If guys who are using 11G, you please try to Google it that location. 18 and above version, you can see this location. App you will get, then you'll get the system name. In my system, Ratan is the system name. Product 18.0 DB home XC JDBC related data because connection purpose, right? Lib folder. In the lib folder, we can find what amount? JDBC 8. Exactly. Because what a step we are doing now? Load the driver, right? Load the driver is nothing but what? Load this class, right? Driver class, right? Okay, so load the driver is nothing but what? Load the driver is nothing but tell me here, load the driver is nothing but what? Load the class.
Yeah.
Tell me guys how to load the class. I want to load this class, right? Basically. Simply yes, loading the driver is nothing but what? Loading the driver class name, right? Java class. Just you want to load the driver class. How to load this driver class? To load this driver class. Hmm. Guys, to load the driver class, use what method name, guys? For name method. For name method. It is a instance method, static method, amma? Static method. Because I want to load the driver. To load the driver class name, to load the driver class, use which method, guys? For name method. For name method, instance method, static method. It is a static method. It is a static method present in class only. Present in what? Class, right? That's what gets class dot for name. We need to give the class name here. This is syntax, right? Class dot what for name need to be the class. What the class name? Tell me. Class dot for name. What the class name? Hmm. Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. That's the point. Enough. Because you got the point, right? Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. This one we have to write the code. First step. But the first step, guys, load the driver, right? Load the driver is the sense like load the driver Java class name. That's it. Load the Java class. Who given this Java class? Database vendor. Hmm? Yes, to do the practicals, let me open Eclipse ID. Let me execute that code. First step, we'll go for the load the driver. Eclipse. Eclipse 2020-03. Maybe bit old Eclipse ID. So advanced Java. Let me go for the JDBC. Click on the launch. I'm in the workspace here. In that workspace, just load the workspace. Load what? Workspace, right? Yeah. Okay, is coming. Load the workspace. This is the driver, right? It convert the Java API syntax into table database format because database required only query. It doesn't understand the string date, string query one equal to some Java syntaxes, right? That's what the reason. Starting Eclipse ID. It's a new ID, guys. JDBC first example. Let me go for the yeah. Yes, JDBC belongs to which part, ma? J2W, JTSC, yeah. JTSC only. JDBC is just like core Java. JDBC is part of JTSC only. JDBC is the part of the JTSC means we require the Java ID, JWA ID. Java ID is enough. But my Eclipse ID, if you go for the file menu new, is advanced servlets files. Can you please change this JEE mode into the Java mode? Click on the plus. Which mode we have to select? Java mode. Click on open. This is my Java mode. Just let me create the Java project. Java project. JDBC. JDBC first example. JDBC what am I? First example. Click on finish button. You please don't create the modules as of now. If you create the module again, you get some issue. Get the point, right? We got some connection issues. You don't create the modules. If you create the module, issue is there, ma. Don't create modules. Now you got the project. Tell me, guys, SRC folder. Let me take the first example. How to can take first example? New. I want to take the class. Give the package name com.tcs dot JDBC example. Okay, the class name is what, ma? So JDBC JDBC first example, something like this. Click on the main method. Just I given the package name. The package name is com.tcs.jdbc example. I given the class name. What a class name? JDBC first example. Click on what am I? Finish. Enough. I think font size is very less. I hope you know that how to change the font size, right? How to increase the font size? Windows preferences. Here you can write the directly font. Colors and font, basic font. We need to go for what? Come down, text font, right? Bold italic, let me make it a 16. Click on apply and close. Bold. You got the point, right? The first step is what, Amma? First step is what? Load the driver. Need to go for the step one. Load the driver. How to load the driver? Class dot. Class dot. We need to go for the fur name. What the class name? Oracle dot will be a Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. Get the point, right? We are trying to load the driver, guys. When you're trying to load the driver, it's throwing some exception because you are loading the driver, right? Driver is nothing but a class, right? So driver is nothing but what? Java class. We are trying to load the driver. That's what if the class is not present, the driver class is not present, you'll get the class not found exception. You please handle that. So you are trying to load the driver class. Who knows if the driver class is not present, we need to handle it, right? We need to handle it. That's what need to take the class not found exception. Enough. This is out control space. This out control space. System dot out println. Driver loaded successfully, right? If driver loaded successfully, that's it. Simply can run this code, then you can see the output. You got the error. Very good. What the error is saying that? But error here, class not found exception, right? We got error like class not found exception. But the issue is here, Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. Class is available, not available, not available. Where is the class? This class where it is present? Jar file, right? That's what we have to give the jar file to this application or not? Exactly. This class is present in jar file, right? We need to give the jar file to this application. To give the jar file to this application, we need to build path the jar file. How to build path? Right click, build path. Right click, build path. Right click, build path. You can go for the configure build path. Libraries we need to add class path. Libraries and what class path. Add external jars. Go on, select the jar file. What is jar file location? Local disk C. Uh, Local disk C app Ratan product 18.0 DB home XC JDBC, right? Yeah, this is like JDBC. In the JDBC we have the lib folder. Go JDBC 8. Click on Watama open. Bus. Then you'll get this jar file, right? JDBC 8. Apply and close. Enough. Once if you click on apply and close, enough. Now simply can run this code. Here directly run button is there, green button. Otherwise right click here, run as Java application. Click on run. Now see the output. Driver loaded what? Exactly. You get the point, right? Driver loaded what amount? Successfully. Are you clear now? Driver loaded what? Successfully, right? Who given this driver class? Database vendor. That's what. Driver loaded what? Successfully, right? Yes. Guys, let me check one more time here. Driver loaded amount. There one small point you need to understand. Driver loaded successfully. Then, yeah. This first step, let me make the example. This is the example one. First step only. Yes. You first execute the first step. Hmm? To run above example, come here. To run the above example, we need to we need to build path the build path the jar file. Build path the Oracle jar file because what reason is because the driver class the driver class presenting jar file, right? Exactly. Yes, to run the above example, we need to build path the Oracle jar file because the driver class present in what? Jar file, right? That is information. How to build path? Uh, build path. Build path means how to build path? Right click on project. Right click on the project. Build path. After build path, configure build path. Hmm. What here? Me just double click here. Right click on the project, build path, configure build path. Then you can go for the libraries. Yes, you can go for the libraries. After libraries, class path. What am I? Click on class path. Then add external jar. Go to the file location. Go to the jar location. Select the jar. Right. Select jar. Enough. At the point, yes. There is a way how to build path the data, guys. Select the jar, right? Go to the location and select the jar. Go to the location and what? Select the jar file. Yes. Once the build path done successfully, once the build path is done successfully, here you'll get the referenced libraries folder. What the reference libraries tell me? Oh, JDBC 8. I got the point, right? JR system library is what? 17th version is using reference libraries. But you can write the point, tell me. Once build path done successfully, we will get reference reference what? Library folder. It means, in the real time we need to check each and every folder observe clearly what that folder contains, how it is happen internally. You have to know that point, sir. Once you got the reference libraries, okay. I told that this driver class is present in what? This jar, right? Son, this driver class is present in what? This jar. You want me to show that jar means, see, you can extract this. Jar file is there, na? Here just arrow is there, right? Click on this arrow. It extracted. What the jar file name tell me? Oracle.jdbc.driver package name. There we can see. oracle.jdbc.driver package should be there here. Yeah, this is oracle.jdbc driver package. There we can see oracle driver class. Arrow is there, right? Click on this arrow. See, there we can see oracle driver class. You can find the number of classes are there, no? So here we need to expect what the jar, what the data oracle driver class. LMNO, yes, this is like, oracle driver. Able to see, right? This is the class. The jar contains this class or not? That class only you are loading here. Hmm? Like this, you need to check the points. Ma. Reference libraries you'll get. You can go for the JDBC 8. There we can see like, package name oracle.jdbc.driver. There we can see like, oracle driver class. Okay, first step is clear. Yeah, first step is one class it will take. Loader driver is completed. Tell me last time what is a driver? Driver is a translator who translate Java API syntax queries into, tell me, servlet API and servlet. JDBC classes, ma. uh, what is the JDBC? JDBC is an API providing class and interfaces to work with what, ma? Database. Core applications who will execute? Servlets executed by servlet container, and JSPs are executed by JSP engine, and database queries are executed by DB, database engine, right? Exactly. What is a driver? Because we are writing the queries at Java side, right? Generally, we are writing the queries at Java application, right? Java application side, we are writing the queries using Java syntaxes. But who will execute the queries? Database. Database don't know what is a string, what is a query, one, this all, right? So we are writing the queries at Java side using Java syntaxes. But who need that queries? Database really require. We require a translator who translate your Java API syntaxes into which format? Database format, SQL format. That is called driver. What's a driver, guys? Driver is a translator to translate Java API queries into SQL API syntax. What are steps? Tell me. Steps to use in the first application. First step is load. Create the connection between the Java to database. In this class, what we discussed, load driver. What is a driver? Class, Java class. Who given this Java class? He given the Java class in the form of what? Jar. In the form of what? Jar file. These are jar files, right? Exactly. How to load that class? For name method. For name method is throwing exception. Exception. No. If you want for name syntax, let me open the for name syntax here better. If you go for the for name syntax, Java API, Java API, API. Mm. We require the java.lang package because it belongs to java.lang only. What package, ma? Java.lang package. There we can see the class. There we can see the what method? F. This is the for name method. This is the for name method syntax. This is the for name method syntax, right? This is the to load the driver class for name method. For name method is throwing which exception, guys? Class not found exception. This is called for name syntax. Mm, yeah. For name method throws which exception, guys? For name method throws, because we are trying to load the class, right? If the class is not present, which class you are loading? Driver class. For name method throws which exception, guys? For name method throws what? For name method throws class not found exception. Comma, it is a checked exception here. Checked exception means mandatory. We need to handle optional. Mandatory. So for name method throws not checked exception. It is what checked exception. So must handle the exception. Must handle exception using try catch blocks or throws keyboard or what am I throws keyboard. That's what guys we handle like class not found exception using throws keyboard, right? Yeah, for name method to load the driver class name for name method. We're throwing which exception class name because you're trying to we are loading what am I? Class, right? Yes, we are loading what class. That's the point. For name method throws class not found exception. It is a checked exception. So must handle the exception using what am I? Try catch blocks or throws keyword, right? Exactly. To run above example, we need to build path the Oracle jar file because the driver class present in what am I? Jar file. Build path, this is the code. Once the build path is done successful, you will get the reference what am I? That is name reference library. Na? You'll get the name reference libraries. You'll get the referenced tell me referenced libraries. Yeah, reference libraries, right? Yeah, libraries. Yes, exactly. You got the pointer? Yes. One more small point is there regarding loading the driver only. When we load the driver when we load the class, I'm loading Java class. When I load the Java class, some blocks are executed, right? Which blocks will execute when I load the class? When we load the class, when we here what we are doing, we are loading the Pravalika, you tell me, Amma, when we load the class, in the class, some logics execute, right? Which logics executed? Anuradha, Pravalika, anyone. Here I'm loading the driver class. Java class I'm loading. When the Java class is loaded, some logics executed. Which logics executed? Priyanka. Priyanka will tell the correct answer. Question అర్థమైందా? What the question? We are loading the class. Which class? Java class. When the Java class is loaded, some logics execute, right? Inside the class contains what are the elements? Tell me. Class contains what are the elements? Class contains what are the data means like variables. What the class contains? Variables, methods, constructors, blocks. How many blocks? Two blocks. What are the two blocks? Instance block and static blocks. Total how many elements you got? Total four elements. Variables, methods, constructors, blocks. When the class is loaded, one element execute automatically, right? Which one execute automatically? Static blocks. అంతా చెప్పినాక మీరు చెప్పేది ఏముంది తక్కువ ఒకటే. When you load the class means you have to say static blocks will be executed, right? Online people are sleeping. You don't know when the load the class static blocks executed. అది కూడా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది తెలియకుండా మీరు జావా డెవలపర్స్ అవుతారు. When we load the class, the static blocks will execute, right? When you load the class, uh, when you load the class, in that the static blocks will be the static blocks will execute automatically. We are loading the class, guys. In that, when we load the class static blocks execute automatically, right? The class static blocks will execute automatically. Have you got the point, right? Yes. Here we are loading which class, ma? Yes, here we are loading which class? Online students, Govardhan, are you able to hear me, right? Yes, are you able to hear me? At least Govardhan, can you please respond sometimes. Other people are busy, maybe. They are always busy, actually. Govardhan, you please respond sometime, huh? Yeah. When we load the driver, what happened, guys? When we load the class which blocks execute, static blocks will be executed, right? Exactly. Because Oracle driver contains one static block. What that static block will do, we will see once. Which class, ma? Oracle driver class contains contains what? Contains the static block. Static block. It will perform the. It will perform what, ma? Some action. So what is that action? We will see. Oracle driver class contains a static block. It will perform some action. What we need to check, we need to go for the Google again. Because in the Google, what I will do, Oracle driver source code. I want to see the Oracle driver class. Oracle driver class which code, source code. Oracle driver class source code, this is source code. You can check. You guys are unable to check in the Google. At least you can copy paste this link, or no. Maybe if you are not able to get, just you can use that link. This is the Oracle driver class code. This is the Oracle driver class code, if you want to see. What the package name? Oracle.jdbc.driver. What we loaded that package on, right? Just you can come down. What the class name, Oracle. This class only, right? This class only we are loading. Okay, this class only we are loading. So this is the class name. But the package name we have here, package oracle.jdbc.driver. Oracle is driver, which contains what the class name? Oracle driver. I told you which contains a static block. Come down, just let me make the static. We have the many static members. Click on the next. Static block. These are static methods. Static block means what? Brace is there, no? This block is called which block? This static block is executed automatically, no? Yeah. Static block executed what? Automatically. In the class loading, right? This is a static block. For you, this much code is not required. Let me delete some code. When you feel happy, then yeah. What this guy is doing that Oracle driver, default driver, driver manager, registered driver, registered driver, he's handling some exception. This is like, it's all not required. Only for this one is enough for us. This is enough. Yeah, this is enough. What this static block is doing, tell me? Yeah, this is also not required. Leave it. It's the only static block I taken, right? What this guy is doing internally, he is creating object of Oracle driver. He's creating object internally. Then what he's doing then? He is registering that object into the driver manager service. That is important. What the point, tell me? What he's doing internally? He's creating object of the driver class and he's registering into what? Driver manager is a service where all the drivers are registered. Where all the drivers are what? Registered. Then what happened is when we load the driver, then what happened? When we load the driver is loaded and which contains a static block. What the static block is doing? It is registering the driver into what? Driver manager service. In that case, what the meaning? Tell me. When we load the driver is automatically registered into what? Driver manager. That is important point. So what is the important point? Tell me. When we load the driver, when we load the driver class contains contains static block. The driver class contains static blocks logics, static block logics. Uh, Tell me what you can say. It will register. It will register the Tell me, it will what? Register the driver into driver manager service. That is important point. What is the driver, sir? That's it. Actually, we have the when you purchase the laptop, we install the drivers, right? Audio drivers, video drivers, Wi-Fi drivers, audio drivers, video drivers. When you load the driver is registered somewhere in the laptop where you're installing the audio drivers, video drivers, keyboard drivers, and all, right? When we load the driver in laptop, the drivers are registered in the device manager. What the drivers registered in what amount? Device manager. This is a device manager. In laptop, when we load the drivers are registered in device manager. In JDBC, when we load the driver is registered in internally one. How it registering internally means because of the static block. Static block internally creating object and registering into what driver manager. See guys, uh, where is that? Where is that? This is device manager. Are you able to see device manager, right? This is a device manager. These are like keyboard driver, mouse drivers. Sometimes keyboard is not working. You need to update the driver. Keyboard is not working. Go to the device manager. Here we have the keyboards. Here the standard PS2. Right click update the driver. If you click on update driver, it is asking that you want search automatically for the driver, browse my computer, something like this. I don't want as of now. You need to update the driver. We need to install the driver. Scan for what? Hardware changes. This is like mouse. Software devices. Like these are the drivers, guys. In your system, tell me guys, in your system, sometimes USB is not working, right? You need to update these drivers. Universal bus. You can go for the USB composite. Sometimes in your laptop something is not working. Go to update the driver. Update driver or uninstall the driver. If you uninstall again, you can install. Hmm? In operating system, when we install the drivers goes to what device manager. Okay, drivers goes to what? Device manager. The same way in our JDBC code, when we load the driver, when we load the driver, the driver class, the driver class we register in driver manager service with help of static block, right? Yeah. When we load the driver class contains what static blocks, static block logics. It will register. Tell me, it will register what? Driver into what driver manager service. Exactly. Tell me guys, driver manager. What is a driver manager? What is a device manager? Driver manager. What is the driver manager? Driver manager is a service. Tell me, it is a service. It is a service where all the drivers are registered. Yes, where all the drivers are registered. That's it. I got the point, right? When we load the driver, then what happened here? When we load the driver, the driver class, the driver the driver class static block will execute automatically. Oracle driver class contains static block. It will perform some action. Oracle driver contains static block. It will perform some action. What action, guys? It will perform some action. What you can say? Action. It will perform some action. What we can say here? It will perform some action. Miru, Miru. See, Govardhan is just 1 minute muted. He is asking not audible. Support చేస్తాం మేము అంతే. When we load the driver class static block will execute automatically. Driver class, when we load the driver class the driver class static block will execute automatically. It will register the, tell me, it will register the drive. మరి రాద్దాం. It will register driver into driver manager service. Mm. When we load the driver class contains static block logics. It will register the driver into what? Driver. When we load the driver, yes, fine. It is called, what is one? Oracle driver. What you can say? Source code. Oracle driver source code link. Can you please check that link once? Oracle driver source code link. Okay, fine. Hmm. Let me watch. When we load the driver class static block will execute automatically. It will reach the driver into. Uh, it will create the. Tell me. It will create the driver class object and register register the driver into that is okay, right? It will create the driver class object. Is creating object, right? First, after creation of object is registering into what driver manager service. What is a driver manager? Driver manager is a service where all the drivers are what registered. The first step is clear, huh? And, almost too much time because we are loading the driver once, right? That's it. Next to whatever the examples we discussed, we don't need to explain the driver loading. Just you can write the first step is what class dot class dot what for name. Then you have to know internally what happened means this is the code for that. We need to build for the jar file, who given the driver class, how they given the driver class. These are all the points, right? Guys, check that point. Meet in next class. We'll go for what? Second step. Hmm? Yeah. Bye guys. Tomorrow we'll meet.